David's fight with Goliath, Jonathan, the son of the king, King Saul, did something similar against the Philistines, and he did it by being rooted in the same understanding of God that seemed to drive David. And the fact that he did it makes the arrogance of Goliath that comes a little bit later somewhat puzzling. So here's the scene. Saul is camped with about 600 guys. That's not too many. He's a couple of miles away from the Philistine army, and he is totally outnumbered. I mean, I don't know why the Philistine army didn't just attack the Israelites and mop the floor with them, but they didn't. There were these ongoing skirmishes from time to time between the two armies, which, again, just makes this all that much more bizarre. But a detachment of the Philistines left their fortress at Migron, and they went to this place called Michmash, and seemingly Jonathan was aware that they had done this. And so he gets this wild idea in his head to go attack these Philistines at this outpost with no one but his armor bearer. Now, this is completely impetuous, but it's born of a God-honoring, God-trusting heart. Now, think this through with me, that there's two young men, and they decide to go attack a Philistine garrison. And we know from the previous chapter that only Jonathan had a sword. So that means that his armor bearer was either unarmed, or maybe he had something like a pointed stick or a pitchfork, but he didn't have a sword. We know that. So what I'm getting at is that this is either completely reckless behavior, or this is someone with a deep faith who understands how God operates. This is a young man who refuses to let human wisdom and human fears dictate the way in which he trusts God. So Jonathan says, "Come, let's go over to the outpost of those uncircumcised fellows. Perhaps Yahweh will act in our behalf, because nothing can hinder Yahweh from saving, whether by many or by few." Jonathan knows that this is not his battle. This is God's battle. You notice he didn't say, "No one can stop us." No, he said no one can hinder Yahweh. It is up to Yahweh to save, whether by many or by few. How can we not be inspired by that demonstration of faith and trust? In the end, Jonathan, he was successful. He took down 20 Philistines out of that little outpost. And at that point, the soldiers kind of went nuts and started attacking each other. And it all just blew up on them. Which is kind of amazing, but not really, when, again, Yahweh is our God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the creator and sustainer of the universe. The battles that we think we are fighting, they're not our battles. They are Yahweh's battles, because He is our God, and we are His children. So tomorrow we're going to look at yet another amazing victory accomplished by God on behalf of His people. But until then, I want you to walk victoriously in Christ.